What is up everybody, my name is Gifford and welcome back to another stock market video where I try to make money from the stock market. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the next stock that I've opened a position in, and that is Tattooed Chef, ticker symbol TTCF. So this stock is pretty different to what I normally buy compared to my EV and technology plays, but in this video I'm going to show why I bought and my thoughts behind this, why I'm buying now, and how much I have currently at my opening position. As always, feel free to subscribe if you're interested in investing, and also remember that I show all my positions of what I currently have, and I know that compared to other YouTubers it's not a lot of money, but to me it is, and I take it very seriously. So with that said, let's get on with the video. Just for people that don't know, we've just gone to Simply Wall Street and gone to Tattooed Chef, and we can see it has a market cap of 1.5 billion at the moment, and that its executive summary is Tattooed Chef is a plant-based food company, produces and sells a portfolio of frozen foods, and we'll get into more of this later. But some of the highlights for it is it's trading at 31.9% below our estimated fair value, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Revenue is forecasted to grow at 33.32% per year, so that's very healthy, and the earnings grew last year by 1,373%, which is a pretty massive growth, and this is why it alerted me to them. So here is the valuation that Simply Wall Street have. They have a fair value of $26.41, which is currently undervalued by 31.9%, and its current price range as of right now is $17.99. So one of the first things is, how did I find out about the stock? Well, it's none other than YouTube. So there's just tons of videos about Tattooed Chef. We can see financial education with 76,000 views. We've got Meet Kevin with 116,000 views, and then various other ones. And a lot of these videos that I've seen talk about its massive growth and how it's disrupting the frozen food section because of its plant-based products. So moving on next just to the price action of Tattooed Chef, we can see again that the current price at the moment is pre-market $18, and if we move over to the 5-year chart, we can see that it was hovering around about $10. So when it had its IPO, it IPO'd at about $10 last year in the middle of May. And then to the 1 year, we can then see the price action of what's been actually happening to Tattooed Chef. So the stock itself over the last year has been pretty volatile, for as low as $13 all the way up to about $26, $27, $28. So it's been going up and down, and now I've decided to buy around about these prices here. Moving now to TradingView, which is that same graph again, but it's in the candlestick analysis, and this is just showing you my basic analysis and my basic understanding. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because it highlights for me of when I do my buys. This yellow line here is just a trend line that I've drawn up real rough just to show that it's been on a downward trend, and that's what alerted me to buying the stock, because I liked the stock beforehand, I just didn't like the price when it was up here. Now that it's come down, that's when I've been keen to buy. And as you can see, this blue line, so I've been buying between this red line and blue line in between these dips here. So the general idea, if I zoom in here, if it gets any lower, especially past down this $15 mark, I'll be buying very heavily around this here. This mark here is pretty much, I don't think it's ever going to drop this low. This here was as low back in July 2020, so I don't even think it's going to hit that because it's quite a popular stock now. But definitely in here I will be buying. If it goes out of here, I'll just wait and accumulate my money. If it comes to here, I'll be buying very heavily if I still have any money left. So now we're over to Yahoo Finance, and under the statistics tab, I just want to highlight some very key metrics of why I bought Tattooed Chef here. So we can see that it's $1.45 billion, so I quite like how it's low market cap, because it means that it can potentially grow a lot bigger. It's only got a small market cap of $1.4 billion because we can see here that the outstanding shares is only 81.11 million shares available. So having a look at some key metrics of Tattooed Chef, I like the profitability, and its profit margin is pretty good at 45.29%. and its operating margin is 3.18. It's got a good return on equity at 56.23%. And a big one for me, because I like high growth stocks, its quarterly revenue growth is 47.7%. And as you saw before, the quarterly earnings grew year on year by 3,848%. So as mentioned before, one of the key reasons of why I'm buying the stock right now at around these prices is if you have a look at the stock price history, you'll see that the current stock price of $18 is currently below the 50-day moving average of $19.30 and also below the 200-day moving average of $20.60. So to me, at this price, it's a good deal if you like the stock, because it hasn't come down under these prices for at least over half a year. So that's pretty good. And you can see that it's had a week low, a 52-week low of $10.33, 52-week high at $26.84. So next, I'm just going to go over some of my research that I found into why I started buying the stock. I'm just going to go over to the company's investor presentation and go over some important slides that I really like. So the first slide we have here is the history of Tattooed Chef. And we can see that the company, even though Tattooed Chef is only very new and IPO'd last year, middle last year, 2020, we can see that the company has actually been around in the early parts of 2009. And what this tells me, that even though the brand Tattooed Chef is launched and begins focusing on plant-based food products, it shows that they have a really good foundation, because the manufacturing has actually been all this time. So this tells me that management know how to look after a manufacturing facility, how to produce product, how to manage inventory, how to get good suppliers, and they've been doing it for a long time. Now what they have here in Tattooed Chef is a very popular product, and backing up that popular product is a team that know how to operate and make it with a manufacturing facility. And the last thing about this slide here, you can see that they have a very ambitious, well to me anyway, a 5-year CAGR, which is compound annual growth rate at 63%. So that's very high, and you can really see that they're wanting to take off with their products and make some serious money. So this next slide, titled Massive Opportunity to Disrupt the 55 billion US frozen foods industry, is just telling us that they have a really good TAM, which is total addressable market. And right now, if the company is worth $1.5 billion, it shows that they have up to $55 billion of the sector that they can get a piece of. So this next slide is just showing the plant-based food options that they have, which is single-serve bowls, smoothie bowls, vegetable blends, meat alternatives, and plant-powered pizzas. So a good amount of products. Unfortunately though, Tattooed Chef is not in New Zealand where I'm based, so I have no idea what this food even tastes like, but I have gone into reviews, into different discords, had a look at them to see if their product is popular. But ultimately, regardless of me looking into that, that's just me really double checking. We see all this demand is actually off the financials, because it shows you how much they sell of it, which from what we saw before, there's quite a big demand for their product. So on to the next slide. Here it's just showing us more of the products that they have all the way across, and this is the year-over-year product introduction. And we can see that in 2020 they IPO'd, but as I said before, they were already making these products. They probably went public because they want to grow even bigger, get more access to capital to then grow into a much larger company. So we can see here that there's a lot of variety, there's a lot of food there, and they're very popular. Obviously some are popular than others. So here in 2020 we can see they've got 38 SKUs, and in 2021 they hope to have another 24 and a total of 62 SKU. So SKU just stands for stock keeping unit, which is in manufacturing. It's very similar to IPNs, which is internal part number. So one of the things I found out about the food industry that I like, which is very different from the electronics industry, like the smartphones and whatnot, where smartphones every year you have to bring out a new phone with newer features. With the food industry, they can basically keep the same product and just keep making it the same, because if you buy a product, you actually buy it because you like the taste of it. In food, you don't really need to add any more features because you're just there to eat it. So as long as it tastes good and has a good price, you'll buy the product every time. Unlike a phone where you have to have major features for it, major changes every year, this one, as long as the product everyone likes, they'll keep buying it year after year. So this slide here I want to show is Tattooed Chef's first marketing and advertising campaign 2021. This slide is more of the risk, what I see going forward, because while it's great to be marketing and advertising, when you start to advertise it costs a lot of money. The financials is not going to look as good because there's going to be a lot of capital used up. A lot of cash, even though they have a lot of cash, is going to be burned through trying to grow their business. So all those gains that we saw in 2020, I don't expect them to be the same, to have that explosive growth, just because they're going to have more operating expenses by probably this stuff here as they push it out, as well as development of their new products. So the last slide I want to show is the leadership team, and this is very important. So I just want to go over two main people, and this is Sam Galletti. He's the CEO and president, and let's just read this about him here. Sam has 35 years experience in the food industry, having served in both operational and investor roles within seafood, breaded vegetables, salsas and dips, grilled chicken, and organics food companies. So this here tells me he's got a lot of experience in food. Now, if we go back to one of the previous slides, so what we've learned is that he's now going to leverage that experience, which is going all the way back to when he started this company. Because with his experience, he now has the ability to produce the products in his factory, but also deliver it to the output, so to the stores. He has those connections with the salespeople. So he has those big connections here already with the end stores, who then distribute it to the end user, obviously the customer. So that's why he's very important, and really one of the factors why I invested in, because the foundation is already there. So then moving on to the next person, who is the tattooed chef and chief creative officer. So let's just have a read about Sarah Galletti here. Creator of the tattooed chef, joined the company in 2014 and spearheaded shift to plant-based, and a former chef in Italy. So it looks like that this is his daughter, and this seems like a family business. Now this is really good because we have someone young who's innovating, has a really popular product, and we also have her dad wanting to make sure that she succeeds. So therefore he's going to put as much experience as he has, and he's going to do a pretty damn good job to make sure that she succeeds. Again, going back to the first slide, this combination of her dad being the CEO and her as the creative director, you can really see what it's done for the company. She's brought in new ideas, sort of a new trend, a new niche that people love the product, massive ambitions to grow, and we can see that in the numbers already. While in the meantime, her dad has already set up the infrastructure, manufacturing, the efficiencies already previously with the other products, and understands how to get his food, his products onto the customer, the end users, via their network that's already been set up many years ago. So that is the main summary of my bull thesis on Tattooed Chef. There's many other things. I'm still learning about them. As I said, I've just opened up a fairly large initial position with them, and I will continue to be buying. So let me go over what I've actually got in my Hatch account with you, and we can see here that I've got $2,807. This is in US, and it's currently down by 2.24%. Obviously, because that's what happens when I buy a stock, it normally goes down. I don't know if you get that, but it happens to me quite a lot. But that's okay, we're thinking about long term here. So we can see that the average cost that I purchased altogether is $18.29, and that the current price, as recorded on here, although it's obviously going to change, is $17.88. And we can see that I've got 157 shares of Tattooed Chef, and it makes up 11% of my total portfolio currently. So I'm hoping to get that up to closer to 25% when I have the money. So let me know in the comments below about what you think about Tattooed Chef. I know it's fairly new to me. I'm still learning it. I really wanted to get into the food sector, and I've chosen this one. As I say, that was just a summary that I've looked into them. I do need to do some more research, but from what I've seen, I like the growth. I like the price currently. I think it could still go a little bit lower. So let me know in the comments about what you think about the stock Tattooed Chef, if you are invested in it, if you think there's actually decent growth there from what I've shown you, or is it going to be is it just going to continue going down from the charts? So for me, looking at the growth numbers, they are pretty damn good, and there's a lot of growth in there, and I think that this has the possibility to double in price fairly quickly, if not within 1 year, if they continue this. Now, I am worried about what will happen in the near future, because to grow that quickly, then they're going to have to spend some money, some capital growing the business. But anyway, that is enough for me today. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button to support the channel, and if you're interested in investing, hit subscribe. I've also got referral links if you want to start your own investing journey through Hatch or Sharesies. The link's down in the description there. And as always, don't forget to do your own research and due diligence. May the gains be with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.